Welcome back to the Summit at Brighton. In this video, we're going to focus on where things are in the kitchen. It's imperative to know this to make it easier on you when it's time to serve. As you already know, we are a kosher facility, so we have meat and dairy separated in our kitchen. It might sound complicated at first, but you will get used to the different sections in the kitchen. First, we are going to talk about the dairy side of the kitchen. Here is where all the dairy items and entrees will be. Dinner is mainly going to be a meat dinner, but at least once a month we have a dinner that is dairy. Here's the cold side of the dairy section, where cold entrees would get prepared, and behind that is where all the dairy dishes will be. This is where the hot dairy entrees will be cooked. Here's the dairy cooler for things such as butters, creamers, and cream cheese. This is also where we keep stuff like milk, juices, and sour cream. Next to that cooler on the bottom, you'll see where we keep our trays. The counter on top of where the trays are will have the microwave, the drink pitchers, and also where the to-go boxes and cups will be. You can also use the counter space when putting together anything with dairy. The dairy set of silverware will be on the dairy side in front of the kitchen line. Those bins will have pink tops to distinguish them from the meat. The meat silverware will have blue tops to distinguish them as well. Glasses will also be next to these two sets of silverware. Also on the dairy side, there will be the juice and soda machine. Now let's head towards the meat side. The ice machine is going to be right in the middle of both sides with the handle for the scooper on the right side of it. Next to that will be the coffee and hot water machine. The coffee pots will be to the right side of the machine as well. This top shelf will have coffee bags, bread baskets, tea packets, and cookies and pastries. Below that will be the appetizer cooler. Next to the cooler will be dressing to-go cups along with their tops. Here's the meat cooler where it will have items such as dressings, pre-made appetizers, condiments, lemons, and etc. If you ever need to wash your hands, there is a sink right next to the meat cooler. Make sure you only wash your hands in that designated sink and not the sink next to the coffee machine. The dishes you'll use throughout your meal will be located in the dish area. Remember to only use the dish that is designated for what kind of meal it is. In the middle of the two sides will be the ice cream. Instead of traditional ice cream, we serve Tafouti. Tafouti is a non-dairy ice cream, so the residents can have it for dessert, even if it was a meat dinner. Our sour cream is also Tafouti for the same reason. Here's the dish area where you will be clearing your dishes and where clean dishes will also be located. Always make sure that you only place dishes there that match what type of meal it is. Here's the meat kitchen where your dinners will be made. Now we are heading towards the cold side of the meat kitchen. Here's where ladles and scoops will be. Below that is the cold side, where the cold meat entrees will be prepared and picked up. Bread for the night will be on this counter in a bucket. On Friday nights, we use challah bread, which is a traditional Jewish bread. In the back here is where all the meat pans will be. Here is the cleaning supply closet where the mop, cleaning solutions, and brooms will be. Now let's talk about dry storage. In this room, we hold all food items that don't need to be refrigerated if unopened. This is where a lot of stuff is going to be located when we run out. Now let's do a little tour of dry storage. We try to keep it organized and keep things generally in the same area. Here you're going to find things like salad dressings, chips, breads, sugar packets, condiments, juices, you name it, it's probably in here. Here's a popular cold soup we serve called borscht. You'll be seeing a lot of this in the dining room. Now on to the refrigerated stuff. Here at the Summit at Brighton, we have separated freezers and coolers for dairy items and meat items. Here's the meat cooler where all the meat items that don't need to be frozen are. Here's the meat freezer for meal items that do need to be frozen. Here's the dairy cooler where refrigerated dairy items will be. If we run out of stuff in the front coolers, make sure to check both dry storage and all of the coolers. Knowing the different parts of the kitchen is imperative in giving good service. You don't want to spend an extra 5 minutes looking for something and leave the residents waiting. If you are unsure of where something is, never be afraid to ask someone. Now that you know where things are in the kitchen, it's time to get serving.